In this video, we'll be demonstrating the use of the StringBuffer class and some of its methods. Now, the benefits of creating a StringBuffer object is you only have to create the object once, and then you can manipulate the object using different methods. Whereas if you had to create a string and then assign a new string to it, that way you are actually just creating multiple objects of a string, which really reduces the efficiency of the program when you have to manipulate that string. So this is the benefit of using a string buffer. Only one object is created, and then you can manipulate that same object using some methods, and I'm going to demonstrate 4 of these methods. So let's create the string buffer object, and I'm going to give it a name that is relevant to itself. So buffer, string buffer object. So this is very obvious that relevant to what we're trying to demonstrate. Now I'm going to create a new object of this class, and then I'm gonna pass to its constructor the initial text welcome, and let's just print it out to see what we get. Original text should concatenate after I finish, and then I'll just add this object. Let's run it. Then we just get the original text. So only one object is created in memory, but now we're going to use multiple methods to manipulate that object. All right, let's start with append. And append here, we are basically just going to use the object reference and just call the append method where we want to add to the existing text. So let's just add to this channel. Write it correctly, and then let's print it out. Maybe change our message after append. Okay, so here we start with welcome, and then after append we get welcome to the channel. What then we can do is insert text at a specified index. So I'll start off with object reference again, dot insert, and I'm gonna say that I would like to insert, so this is index 0, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after 6 would be 7, and say that at index 7, I would like to insert an exclamation mark. Yeah, welcome to this channel. Welcome, and then to this channel. Let's print it out. I will say after insert. Let's run it. Okay, so now we've got that exclamation mark being inserted at that particular index. But now I'm going to use the replace text to replace that small t with a capital T. So I'm using the reference and then dot replace. Now I'm going to say where I'd like the replacing to happen. So after the exclamation mark, we have index 7, that would be the exclamation mark, and then we have space. Oh, I'm just going to run it again one more time. Oh, I've got an issue, so let's run it. So we want to come to this index, and that would be index 9, because that was 7 and the space counts as 1, so that's 8. So from index 9 to 10, the 10 would be excluded. I'd like to replace that with a capital T. So 9 to 10 and a capital T. You can actually add more if you wanted to replace. I always forget that semicolon. And let's print it out actually. Oh, and that was not a semicolon. Okay, so now we have that replaced. If you increase this range, you can add more things or replace with whatever you like. Now the last part is we can actually delete some text. So let's try this. I should have just gotten the reference. So with delete, let's say that we want to delete this. So that would be, so if that was index 10, that's 9, that's 10, that's 11, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's say we want to delete all of this from here to here. So that would be indices 12 to 17. We just want to delete that range. And then we print out what it looks like after delete. Yeah, so welcome to channel, which doesn't make sense, but the idea was we wanted to demonstrate how delete works. But this is pretty much it. Only one object in memory was created, and we were able to manipulate it using different methods that the class offers. Whereas if you created a string and you kept on assigning that string a new value, that's all increasing or making your program less efficient and increasing the complexity of the program. So this is when you want to use a string buffer object, is when you want to manipulate the string many times in your program, so that way you only need to create one string and work with that. I hope this was helpful, and stay tuned where we speak about the other similar class, which is StringBuilder. I'll see you then. In this video, we'll be demonstrating the use of the StringBuilder class and some of its methods. Now, I'm just going to show you how this changes. So prior to this video, we made another one about StringBuffer. So StringBuilder is similar to StringBuffer in that it represents a mutable sequence of characters. So I'm just going to show you what needs to change for this program. So instead of using the StringBuffer class, now we will use the StringBuilder. So this part changes. Builder. Now the other thing is I want to rename my object, but you know that it's been used in 8 times or 8 references in my program, or 9 or 8 occurrences. So it's not convenient to just keep copying and pasting. What you can do is right click on the object reference and click on refactor and then choose to rename. So now instead of buffer, I'm going to call this builder object, and it changes across the whole program. When I hit enter, that's everything. So any reference in my comments about StringBuffer will be replaced to StringBuilder, but that's pretty much it. Everything else remains the same. So I've got a StringBuilder object created using the StringBuilder class, and using this reference, we were able to append, insert, replace, and delete. So when I run the program, we start off with the string welcome, which comes from the constructor call. And then after append, we have added to this channel, this text. Then using insert at index 7, we've added an exclamation mark. And then we have replaced index 9 to 10. Now 10 is not included, so we've replaced that with a capital T. And then we deleted the range from index 12 to 16, excluding 17. So what? No, actually that's what we've deleted. So this was index 9, this is 10, this is 11. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, all of that gets deleted. And so our last or final string is just basically welcome, exclamation mark, to channel. So that's pretty much it for StringBuilder. In the next video, we're gonna talk about the main differences. I'll see you then. In this video, we are going to speak about the main difference between the StringBuilder and StringBuffer classes. Now, the main difference between the two classes, StringBuilder and StringBuffer in Java, is synchronization. And that's when only one thread can execute a block or method at a time. And so the idea of synchronization is to prevent multiple threads accessing or and modifying the object at the same time or concurrently. Now, synchronization is essential for thread safety. If you are dealing with synchronization, if you need synchronization because you're working with multiple threads or a multi-threaded environment, then you definitely need to use something that supports synchronization. It does, however, incur an overhead in multi-threaded applications. So after speaking about synchronization and what it means, what is the difference between the two classes? Now, the main difference is that StringBuilder is not synchronized, whereas StringBuffer is. So when we say StringBuilder is not synchronized, it means that it's not thread safe. But it's more efficient because it doesn't have to lift that overhead that is needed for synchronization. So it's best to use StringBuilder in single-threaded environments because it is more efficient since it doesn't have to deal with the overhead that synchronization has to offer. And because it's not synchronized, so it's best to use StringBuilder in single-threaded environments where you don't need synchronization anyway. But if you are going to need synchronization, then go for StringBuffer. So this actually means it is thread safe, and though because it has an extra overhead, it leads to reduced performance. But when would you use it? In multi-threaded environments where thread safety is needed. So it's just a matter of whether or not you need synchronization. Based on that, you make the decision of when to use which. So best to use StringBuffer when you don't need synchronization because you're only working with a single thread. But if you're working in the multiple thread environment, synchronization is really important. That's when you use StringBuffer and compromise that performance. I hope this was helpful to you, and I'll see you in future ones.